was a nightmare. It was literally pain. Why do you want to suffer that? If these two conditions are not met, I will quit that job and find another one. Since then, it has been a decade and a half, and I have not done late nights. I don't do late nights. If I could give one advice to youngsters, my advice would be this. In 2009, a decade and a half ago, I quit my job at McKinsey in New York and I moved back to India. And at that time, I made myself two promises. Number one, I told myself, I'm not going to do any more late night work. At McKinsey, I had done enough of 11 p.m., 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and I was done with that. So that was my number one promise. The second promise I made to myself was no more alarm clocks. I will wake up when I'm done, when I've had enough sleep. I will not wake up on an alarm. So with these two promises, I came back and I was very sure, even if I get a really good job, even if it pays well, great brand, whatever, if these two conditions are not met, I will quit that job and find another one. This was my commitment to myself. So when I came back to India, I joined a private equity fund in Mumbai, and I did not know what their culture was like. So do these guys, do they stay late at night and they work till late, or do they go home early? But then how do you ask? Because if I went to them and on day one, if I go and ask them, hey, do you guys do you work late? Then they would think, this guy, he has just joined, and instead of thinking how he can contribute or what kind of work he can do, he's not excited about that. Instead, he's worried about, does he get to go home early? So that I felt a little awkward asking that. And I was not sure what to do. So here's what I did. I went to one of the partners and asked him, hey, do you guys have dinner? Where do you guys have dinner? And he was a little confused. He said, what do you mean? Like, at home, of course. And in my mind, I was like, oh, that's great. So if they have dinner at home, which means they go home on time, so no more late nights. Since then, it has been a decade and a half, and I have not done late nights. I don't do late nights. Even at my startup, HabitStrong, I don't work till like 10 p.m., 11, 1, 2, no chance. Now, they say startups are busy, and yes, there is a lot to do, but do the work you have with focus during the day. Second thing is, I still, as a policy, I do not use alarm clocks. Yes, sometimes you have to take a flight and those are exceptions, but normally no alarm clocks, sleep as per your natural sleep cycle. So if I could give one advice to youngsters, my advice would be this. Put your health before your job. That does not mean don't excel in a job. That does not mean don't be ambitious. No, but health comes first. Then comes your job. Here is why I say this. For almost 10 years, I did not do that, and my health really suffered. In those 10 years, my physical strength went down, endurance went down, blood pressure went up, and I injured my back. I had disc injury. And because of that, for most of those 10 years, I lived with constant back pain. I still remember when I was working at McKinsey, even when I was sitting for 12, 14 hours in the office regularly, my back would hurt. And in the New York office, in the basement, there was a pharmacy. And I would go there and buy those pain patches and put them on the back or take painkillers. It was a nightmare. It was literally pain. Why do you want to suffer that? Over the years, I have regained my fitness and I got back a lot of what I lost in terms of my health. But my back injury, that cannot be healed. It's irreversible. And even today, sometimes I do get back pain. Some mistakes in life cannot be reversed. So don't make those mistakes.